Madam Clerk, what items do we have before us?
There are 7 items before the committee.
Okay, and item number 1 right there.
Item number 1 is a report from the city clerk relative to the status of the Pico Genesee Community Pocket Park Trust Fund.
Great, and hi, Miss Carrie, how are you?
I am good, thank you.
How's your baby?
She's good, thank
How
you.
How old now?
4 months.
Good, congratulations. My best to your father.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Patricia Carey with the city clerk. As of June 30th, 07, this trust fund had a balance of $96,132.44. Over the last fiscal year, it earned $5,166.61 with an ending balance of $101,299.05. The trust fund was set up to receive monies for the development of a pocket park in the Pico, Genesee area.
Correct. And you've briefed the councilman of the 10th District about this?
Yes, we have, and we've also contacted Rec and Parks to let them know about the trust.
Okay, recommend you approve and receive and file.
I believe the department is recommending to note and file.
Note and file, note and file. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2 I'm going to hold for a minute. Item 3. If everybody could thank you. Item 3.
Item 3 is a motion, Labange Gruel, relative to fund transfers from the Griffith Park Trust Fund for the purpose of constructing improvements.
Okay, we're going to hold that. Number 4.
4 is another motion, Labange Parks, relative to identifying funds to upgrade the fire protection system pump station.
We're going to hold that. Number 5.
Number 5 is a report from the Department of Aging relative to authorization to apply for grants for the department's transportation projects.
Good afternoon, Council Member. Marco Perez with Department of Aging. Let's see. We have received we requested applying for this grant called the Job Access and Reserve Commute. We received both. We're happy to inform you that we have received both grants.
What's the total?
That both Metropolitan Transportation Authority has given us $3,644,000 to have the Job Access and Reverse Commute program for the city of Los Angeles. Basically, this grant will help our older adult trainees and our senior training program have an opportunity to be transferred from their work source to their home and vice versa.
By some type of vehicle?
Correct. With this grant, we're buying vehicles, hiring the folks that we need.
Good. Okay, that sounds good. And you got the money?
Yes, we did.
Did we send a thank you note to who sent us the money?
Right now, we're still negotiating with them. We're not there yet.
When they do, make sure we thank them.
I will certainly do that.
We'll recommend approval and authorize. Okay, number 6, please.
Number 6 is another report from the Department of Aging relative to technical contract adjustments and a revision to the Community Development Block Grant Adult Day Support Center.
Good afternoon, Council Member. This is Martin Pandabibiana, and we have 2 agencies that had spending of about $15,000 over what they had available for the 3-month period. The contract runs from April 1st to March 30 of the following year. They had $32,000 available for the 3-month period, so their spending went over. So we're just adjusting the funding with another agency. So there will be no changes in the balance. It's
no effect on the general fund?
No, sir.
All righty, but you'll continue the service.
Great, thank you.
Okay, good. Now, on this here, we would recommend approve.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, number 7.
Item number 7 is a report from the City Administrative Officer relative to a contract amendment with Withers and Sandgreen relative to landscape architectural design services.
Hey. Perfect timing, Veronica.
Good afternoon, Council Member. Veronica Salumbiras from the Office of the CAO. The item before you is a contract amendment for Withers and Sandgreen. The amendment will extend the term by 2 years from 9 years to 11 years and increase the maximum allowable compensation by $300,000 from $900,000 to $1.2 million. Funding for the fees paid under the terms of the contract is provided within each project budget. There is no additional impact on the general fund, and the CAO recommends approval.
Sid.
Yes, sir. We request approval of this amendment. They are the consultant on record for Rosecrans Recreation Center sports field refurbishment, and therefore we would need their services for the completion of the project.
Great. Okay. Recommend approval.
Thank you.
You're watching it though, Veronica, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. All right, let's go back to number 4.
Item number 4 is a motion, Labange Parks, relative to identifying funds to upgrade the fire protection system pump station next to the Grieg Theater.
Hey, Sid. Okay, on this item, who's here to speak on this item there? Mr. Reagan, is that you? Item number 4, Mr. Muckery, is that you? Who's here to speak on number 4? Right now, presently on Vermont Canyon, about 200 feet north of the front of the observatory, is an above-ground infrastructure of a pump that is supposed to pump water for fire protection to the observatory. It's a temporary facility. When I saw Mr. Muckery's ace, Kevin Reagan, here, I thought you were going to report on that, Mr. Reagan. So what we want to do is find out, when's our next meeting scheduled?
October 17th.
Okay, at 17th we'll have an answer. It's above ground. I don't think they plan to figure out what needs to be done. Maybe we've got to contact Marty Adams. This one will be continued to
October 15th, excuse me.
15th, October 15th. Thank you very much. And also number 3, item number 3.
Is the motion relative to fund transfers from the Griffith Park Trust Fund.
Great. Would anyone like to speak to that? This is Vista Del Val. There is potholes, unsafe motorcycle. This is a request of the general manager to work with his board to authorize the money to transfer to street services. By the way, there's 3. I'll look at Kevin because he's your right hand for all this. I'm looking at that, John. There's 3 potholes on Vermont, just below the bird sanctuary in the number 1 lane. They haven't been filled in over a week. And there's 7 west of the tunnel on Observatory Road, West Observatory Road, need to be filled. So you got them, Kevin? Okay. So this, Mr. Muckery, this authorizes you, council will give you authorization to ask your board to use that for the simple improvement. It's not to do the work on the slide. It's just to make it safer for those who ride bikes or walk or run, that they're not stepping into craters like you would see at the observatory of a description of the surface of the moon. Want to get that fixed? Okay, good. And thank you so much. And now item number 2. Did we just take that up right now?
For clarification, on item number 3, is that motion approved?
Yes,
The
it sure
committee?
is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we did everything. We're just gonna-
Item number 2 is a report from the City Administrative Officer in response to motion Smith-Labange relative to the feasibility of expanding the permissible uses of the council civic fund allocation in the cultural affairs budget.
I'll do that. Yeah, we did that. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. Diana Mangiolu, Office of the CAO. Our office was basically asked to report back on the feasibility of expanding the uses of the council civic fund and and whether or not catering and equipment rental were permissible uses. Based on our discussions with the city attorney's office, our office is reporting that that those uses are not permissible based on how the administrative code is read. However, if council wishes to change policy, it would require an amendment to the administrative code. Our office is recommending that the Department of Cultural Affairs be given an opportunity to report back on the impacts of expanding the uses and also an opportunity to either recommend to adopt their current guidelines as is or make any changes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, it's a good suggestion by the CAO. Let the Cultural Affairs review this. Should we continue this for 30 days, 45 days?
We did recommend that the department
Oh,
be
here's
given...
Cultural Affairs. Don't be shy.
I didn't want to be presumptuous. It's all room
that's
for
all
the
right.
Department of Cultural Affairs. I think, Councilmember, it's simply whether you want us to report back to the committee before this goes on to Budget and Finance Committee. But we're certainly ready to respond back within 30 days, and we do have some thoughts and suggestions that we would like the committee to entertain.
Ms. Hahn, is it okay we continue this 30 days?
I believe that's okay.
Okay, good. So we'll continue at 30 days, CAO's recommendation, and then we'll have it back, and then after that, we'll set it to Budget and Finance.
Okay.
Okay, Madam Clerk, all items, since we are graced by the President of the great Councilwoman of the 15th District, since all items that were discussed before were somewhat routine but still meaningful, could we recalibrate the vote on those?
Certainly. Item number 1 was recommended for note and file. Number 2 was continued. Number 3 was approved. Number 4 is continued. Number 5 was approved. Number 6 approved. And number 7 approved.
All right.
Great.
I concur.
Concur, okay. So with that done, our agenda is somewhat complete at this time.
Correct.
Now we have a lot of public comment cards here, and I am going to ask that we have a 1-minute clock so that everyone will have a chance to speak. And we also have Angela Henderson here for general comments. I'll have you go first, Angela. How are you? From the County of Los Angeles Department of Public Health. Thank you so much. How long have you been with the Health Department?
Oh, no, thank you so much.
How long have you been with the Health Department?
How long?
Yeah.
Have I been with the Health Department?
Right.
3 years now, sir.
Are you happy with the Health Department?
Oh, I'm very happy, and that's why I'm just here just to extend our services to you for our district. Actually, I'm from South Health Center. We're actually in Genesee District and District 15.
Yeah, yay.
So I was asked to come here on behalf of our medical director. We have a new medical director there, Dr. Jan King, and she would like us to get more involved with the political process and to try to get the constituents involved in our learning more healthy styles of living.
Very good.
So
Good. Maybe you can work with my staff member, Jennifer, and we can work together on
Right.
how do we achieve this goal.
yes, thank you
Very
so much.
good.
I think it's so great to see you because I know Ms. Hahn, one of her true desires is to see a liaison between the city and county. I know you're county.
Right, and
But,
just so you know, our mission is to protect health, prevent disease, and promote health and well-being. And so we're here at your service, so we would like to
Good.
work together.
Good. Thank
Okay?
you.
Sorry.
So this is
Good.
very good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Glad you
We're going to
came.
follow up on that. Okay, now we have here,
You have your health, you have everything.
that's all that matters. Every day's a blessing.
That's right.
This is all for general comments here. And we have cards, so we're going to run a 1-minute clock. Jason Elias, and I'm going to call Lourdes Lavelle, is that correct? Forgive me if I made it. Jose Hilaldo? Okay, good. And Pedro Espana?
And I will attempt to interpret for you, so you'll have to put up with that. My name is Jason Elias, and I'm representing SEIU Local 721. We're before you today asking that the council take action to fix a very serious emergency in our parks. The Department of Recreation and Parks stands to lose almost 5,000 hours of maintenance, security, recreation, and operations hours due to budget shortfalls. The department presented a plan to use it to us in mid-September, and we started the negotiations process with them, but they decided to unilaterally implement that plan today without exhausting the negotiations process. Further, they chose not to utilize the mutual gains process to solve this issue in a cooperative manner. In maintenance cuts alone, 1,627 hours of maintenance cut per week represents 3,000 fewer restroom cleanings, 3,000 fewer drinking fountains cleaned, or 1,600 sandboxes not being cleaned. In recreation programming, cuts will hit preschool, after-school programs, youth sports. So we ask the council to take action to address this issue and work with us, along with the CAO and the mayor's office, to figure out how we can cooperatively solve this problem.
Thank you very much. Jose?
My name is Jose Hurtado. I'm work for Harbor Gold. I'm here to represent the Hip Timers people that work with us. And what I see those people, they really need a job. Why? Because they have families. And not only that, they have kids. And without the job, they're not even going to have health insurance. So, and not only that, the golf that I wear right now, they looks pretty good. If you guys going to cut people, it's going to look bad. To me, the city is going to look bad because, the parks, who's going to pick up the leaders or, we are the ones pick up the litters, clean the bathrooms, everything. So I hope you can take some consideration of that. Thank you very much.
Mi nombre es Lourdes. Lousel, yo trabajo para los parques.
My name is Lourdes, and I work in Rec and Parks.
Yeah, y yo vengo porque a mí me quitaron ahora 6 horas de trabajo.
I'm here today because they took away 6 hours a week from me.
Yo tenía 20 horas a la semana y para mí no es posible porque yo tengo mis hijos que mantener, tengo que...
I have 20 hours a week, and for me, this cut, I can't survive. I have children.
Y pago renta, pago biles y no es posible que me quiten esas 6 horas porque solo trabajo 20 horas a la semana.
I only work 20 hours a week. I have bills, I have rent, and I won't be able to survive without the 6 hours.
Y yo necesito que pues nos ayuden también a nosotros para que podamos recuperar esas horas porque
Okay. So, you need to recover those hours because I need those hours to be able to, so that I'll be able to pay my rent.
Porque no es posible que nosotros hacemos en 4 horas el trabajo que otros que tienen más horas, son 8 horas, no lo hacen.
It is not possible for me to do in 4 hours what other people have been doing in 8 hours. Those hours are not enough to complete the job.
Ajá, y si es posible, pues yo creo que a los full time les pueden quitar 1 hora para poderlos regresar a nosotros las horas que sean conscientes con nosotros también, que nosotros también necesitamos.
If it's possible, my suggestion is if you can cut back a couple hours from full-timers so that we can make up our hours and we'll be able to complete the job.
Yeah. Eso es todo.
That's all I have to say right now.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Pedro Espana. I work for the LA City Park Rangers. I'm one of their part-time staff. I recently just found out about the cuts and the temporary layoffs as of last night through our union and through a coworker. I just have to say, just without the part-time staff to secure the observatory, initially the park rangers and myself, or the part-time staff, are the first EMS that they have at the observatory. I'm one of the few of us that are fire trained. Also, the rangers and myself are first to respond to any type of fire, any type of emergency that we may have anywhere in the park, and we're the ones that are capable of dealing with it. And that I don't really have much to say.
Well, thank you for what you do. Appreciate your comments here. Hilda Martinez, Jimmy Gov, Kathy Peters.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Hilda Martínez y trabajo para Recreación de Parques en el Arroyo Seco.
My name is Hilda Martinez and I work for the Park and Recreation at the Arroyo Seco plant.
El problema está en que nosotros somos demasiado pobres y todavía sí nos están quitando horas.
The problem is that we are extremely poor and on top of that you are taking off a lot of our hours.
Con esta situación que tenemos ahorita, vamos a tener que vivir abajo de un puente porque con 6 horas no podemos trabajar, no podemos comer, no podemos pagar renta.
With the current condition of living right now, when you take away the hours, we won't be able to pay our rent, or we might have to go and live under the bridge or somewhere.
No es posible que no se pongan la mano en la conciencia para ver que uno es pobre y no puede vivir con ese sueldo que nos van a dar esta semana.
It's not possible, it's impossible to believe that you don't have a conscience and understand the situation, and with the cut hours, you won't be able to make it throughout the week.
Estamos ahorita en una situación de nervios porque no podemos resolver nuestros problemas y aún más ahorita con esta situación que tenemos.
We are under a nervous condition right now, and we are having a difficult time trying to keep up with the current condition based on the wages that we are receiving.
Pienso que el problema del dinero que hace falta, con un día de trabajo que dejaran los altos cargos de no trabajar y darlo a la ciudad, con eso se gastarían, se repondrían el dinero que quieren reponer, no con el dinero de uno de pobre.
Yeah, but if we miss 1 hour, 1 day of work, we won't be able to make it. Right now, we are very poor, and we need to make these hours to make up, to be able to pay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Gracias. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jimmy Gov. I'm here on behalf of the Los Angeles City Park Ranger Division to pretty much try to get our budget back, if anything, not to get it cut. I work for radio communications. I do a lot of the dispatching in there. I know I'm not the best, but I feel like, I help out a lot. I feel if you cut our hours, you cut a lot of the part-timers out of the dispatch communication center. More or less, it forces the full-timers to come inside. Once you take full-timers out of the field, it causes the park to be more vulnerable to theft, crime, or, if anything, arsonists to cause fire within the parks. So with this being said, if you would possibly, hopefully not cut the budget, it would help the Rangers out, full-timers, and it also help us out with the work that we do to assist them.
Thank you. Kathy.
Hi. Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Peters. I'm with the Department of Recreation and Parks. I'm born and raised in the city of LA and very proud to serve my community and in the department. And I'm a half-time worker. When I grow up, I hope to be a full-time employee. But for the time being, I'm a half-time person. And we have fought hard to get our half-time benefits. And in the region that I'm at, we have a lot of part-timers. We have high-profile areas like Venice Beach, which is already short-staffed. A lot of our areas, as you know, are already short-staffed. And by cutting the part-timers, I'm currently in the maintenance department, and cutting the part-timers would really be a burden on the region and to the community. And I know that the community has already spoken up about the issues at hand. We feel very strongly about trying to keep the hours. I'd like to be able to keep my hours without the part-timers. I may not have a job, and I'm already in a battle for my life with breast cancer, so I'd really like to keep my job.
Kathy, thank you, and good luck in your battle, which is the most important battle that you have. Every day is a blessing, and give Kathy a little support right now just for being here. James Tracy, Lewis Harris, Judy West, and Sonia Gonzalez, is that correct?
Hi, I'm Jim Tracy. Thank you for letting me have a little bit of time this afternoon. I'm an instructor with Recreation and Parks, and I'd like to speak on behalf of the thousands of children that potentially would suffer, not be able to give expression to their artistic means, seeing as how many schools today have cut back on arts and music programs. And so they rely heavily, the children do, on the park districts for music and such that we provide. And so I'd like to speak that budgets not be cut for them on that basis.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Sonia Canales, and I work for the West area, Westwood Park. And I'm here because I'm really sad for what's happening. They already cut us 4 hours today. And it's going to affect me very much, and I know it's going to affect my coworkers. I'm a single mother. I have 2 daughters, and I've been working so hard for so many years, and now they come out with this, and it's going to affect me so much. I even took custodial classes so I could do my job better, and I don't think we deserve that from one day to another come like, oh, you guys going to go down to 4 hours. And like, that's my only support, that's my job. And I'm really sad for this, and I hope that we can get those hours back. And my coworkers, some of them are fired, laid off, and I know it's going to affect them too, so I wish we can get our jobs back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lewis?
Yes, Lewis Harris, when they asked me Council 36,
I came with some of the workers who work at the Recreation and Parks Department. Again, as Jason said, we were in the process of trying to go through this reduction and negotiate with the department. I'm not going to reiterate what Jason said, but asked me to want the opportunity to go back, and we only had 2 meetings, and it's implemented already. They're implementing today. That's not fair to the workers as a one, because our workers like Jim and Judy and Kathy that I know personally. Jim's been with the department 9 years, Kathy 18 years, Judy about 8 or 9 years, and we're talking long-term employees that have a stake in the department and with the community. And we want to make sure that that we continue our programs for the seniors, children, teens, also at the observatory. And we want to get back to the table and try to figure a way to go through this budget issue and make sure that we work together to resolve it.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Judy West.
Judy West.
And I'm with I'm at Van Nuys Sherman Oaks Recreation Center. I've been with the city since 1999, and I'm half-time. I'm very happy that we got that. I recently had my hours reduced to 11 hours a week, and then they were reinstated. I really don't want to pray that we don't have another reduction, you know, for me, because my son and daughter-in-law and grandson live with me, and they depend on my income also. So it's just important. I'm a parent and me teacher along with in the office. So it's seeing the people every day, and they need us. And when you talk about a park, that's their front and backyard. Most people don't have yards. So it's really important that we keep them up.
Judy, thank you very much. I do not have any additional cards, Madam Clerk, but I do see the general manager here. Ms. Hahn, I know we don't negotiate on these meetings, but could I call you to the table? Because I don't think you would have been here unless you had some concerns about this. So I thank you for coming, Mr. Muckery, on your own volition. I just walked into this meeting and was told by the clerk that there's a large number of very concerned representatives of their various parts of recreation and parks. And I know you're compassionate and trying to find a way to get through this budget mess. And it's not, I mean, it's ironic that it's happening, this is happening, but it's really even happened before with the crisis in Washington and affecting the country.
You know, and I just add before you talk, I really appreciate all of you coming down here and taking the time to share with us this issue. And I will tell you, you know, obviously on the human side, it's devastating to think about some of you, devastating to losing your hours and the possibility of being laid off, particularly at times like right now. It's hard for me to even think that we're going in that direction. But the other side of it is providing services, you know, to our constituents in Los Angeles. And I will tell you, when I look at, you know, what you do, clean bathrooms, drinking fountains, sandboxes, pick up litter, maintain landscaping, mow lawns, trim and maintain golf courses, security, backup park rangers, dispatch park rangers, guard at Griffith Park Observatory, and then the one that really gets me is running preschool and after-school programs, youth sports. You know, this is a time, and when all you know, my biggest thing right now is giving kids in LA something positive to do to keep them from joining gangs, because gang violence is costing the city billions of dollars. Graffiti costs us millions of dollars. So you all out there, you know, I would like to see everybody, you know, reinstated and given their hours, because literally it's like we're being, you know, what's the penny foolish pound, one of those, where, you know, which one, what is it? Pound wise, penny foolish, whatever it is. We're not, you know, this is the wrong place, in my opinion, to be cutting. These are the people. Yeah, go ahead, because, you know, I mean, this is what we talk about as a city, is providing this kind of a good service to our young people. You know, there's a ballot measure on where we're trying to raise money for after-school programs, you know, mentoring, tutoring, and you're doing that right now. So to cut this, I just think right now is just absolutely the worst time to be cutting these services. This is what long-term, I believe, will save the city money by making sure that all of these recreation and parks employees are, you know, get their full hours. You know, that's how I feel. So I would really like to see this
Full hours to serve the people of Los Angeles.
figure this one out, because I can't. I'm not in favor of the direction that we're taking right now.
I understand that, Ms. Hahn. This is not an agendized item.
I know,
so there's
but
two
I'm
things that I wanted to
saying-
ask. If you could make a brief statement, Mr.
you.
Muckrey, and then if it's suggested, we'll agendize this at a
Fine.
more formal time within the next few weeks at the next
We
meeting.
got to figure this out.
Right.
Thank you, Committee President Labange and Councilmember Hahn. This is not an easy decision,
I know.
nor one that I look at with any glee at all. These employees are the lifeblood of this city.
They are.
And as you know, we've gone through a very difficult budget process. And I want to personally thank SEIU and ASME for coming here in their leadership role and bringing their employees so you can see the faces that are affected by the budget. This is not something that we just woke up September 30th and said we need to address. We knew going into the summer during this budget process that we were underfunded. However, our budget doesn't start July 1st. We start our summer programming March, April, May. Unfortunately, now we have to pay the beast. We have a $3 million budget shortfall in part-time hours. There's no easy way out of it. We're exhausting every means of doing it. Again, I want to thank ASME and SEIU because they've come to the table. They've been with us. And I don't want to lose that impetus now, but right now as a department head, I cannot continue to spend money I don't have. The council, the committee, I didn't get it.
I understand that. Madam City Attorney, we could request this to talk at later length within a 2-week next. When's our next meeting, Miss?
Wednesday, October 15th.
October 15th. So that would be okay there. Could I also request the general manager continue a meeting and dialogue with the representatives and understand to each and every one of you, it is difficult. You know, I remember I worked at the Greek Theater when I was in high school, and there was a guy named Joe South who came from Atlanta, and he sang a song called Walk a Mile in My Shoes. And to see your eyes and your faces and your compassion, those who spoke, to walk a mile in your shoes is difficult, because it's not difficult if you want to, like Ms. Hahn said, and I think the general manager and the staff want to try to find a way to solve this problem. Everyone has a role in the city of Los Angeles, and I certainly know as a daily park user, some of you I see at 5:45 a.m. at the observatory, you're trying to make a difference to this park system, which is the People's Park. And some comment, and I forget who it was, I'm sorry for not giving you credit, but you talked about the front yard and the backyard. That's what the parks are for the people. So if you could, Mr. Muckrey, we request you formally to continue the dialogue, and also request, we'll make a formal request to the CAO.
I was going to say,
to meet with the CAO.
We have been. I just want to close, and I'm going to face the employees. You didn't cause this problem. It's unfortunate we're here. I know you didn't. You're the best employees I've ever had work for me. And we're going to try like hell to get the money back.
Again, and particularly, though, the angle being, on some of these issues, we're trying to make revenue, like our golf courses. I mean, we're increasing fees. That's a revenue generating. So you're going to cut the very people that cut and trim the golf courses. I just want to make sure the city gets this.
I understand. It's a very difficult time.
It is, but
we are not.
Right. I just think we should make the case to the CAO and to the city council that, you know, this is the wrong places to make these kind of cuts, and that you deserve to have more in your budget.
Ms. Hahn, thank you very much. Mr. Muckrey and the Recreation Park staff. Madam City Attorney, thank you for your advice. If there's no other public comment.
That's it. Pennywise.
This meeting is, this item will be scheduled for October 15th.
Okay.
And we'll put it as the first item on that agenda. Thank you, everybody, for coming down. And this meeting is now adjourned.
Okay.